Hey guys, and welcome to a new loot video. So in this one, I'm going to be showcasing the loot that I got from 50 Simulacrums. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about Simulacrums being extremely profitable, 6 to 10x an hour, like one of the best farming methods in the game. So I thought I would try and test it. So I ran 50. Now, the thing with Simulacrums is they are, compared to other endgame content with, blight maps and heist, you need a good character to do them. So you need a well-rounded character that has good survivability, good DPS, good reach, good speed, good clear, good single target. So in terms of, investment into your character, this would take a lot more than running just blights or heist wood, which you could do with a summoner or a max block character. So let's get that out of the way. I was using this Lightning Strike build from Captain Lance, which is now very expensive with the Hateforge gauntlets costing, yeah, very expensive. So any build that has good clear and good survivability with also good DPS, it's a lot to ask for, to be honest. But yeah, jumping into it. So let's show you the loot that I got. So pitiful chaos, to be honest with you. Good awakened sextants, good gem cutters, decent exalted orbs, a lot of stack decks there, which is nice. Good essences, a lot of catalysts here. This is something you don't see in other in-game things that I've noticed. A lot of fossils as well as breach stones, which can't drop, but drop from these splinters becoming 100. And then onto the second tab, which is the maps, fragments, the miscellaneous, and the cluster jewels. Now, also scarabs, which is predominantly what you will be farming in Simulacrums for profit. Now, I had to use a fragment tab because I'm not forking out another $40 for another quad tab. So I've just threw them all into here. And there is over 700 scarabs here. Counted them up for the spreadsheet, nice and ready. And yeah, the good thing about selling these is that they will always sell quickly. This is pretty much instant profit. As soon as I make this tab public and start selling, these will sell in about an hour, I would guess. So yeah, pretty good things to sell from the Simulacrum itself. So, shall we jump into the loot, see how much the investment was and whatnot? Let's do it. So, loot from 50 Simulacrums. Simulacrums cost 1.4x per one, which totals up when you buy 50 to 70 exalts. The Chaos Orb investment, 10,500. The current exchange rate is 150 Chaos to 1x. And the time investment, which I should note down, is significantly more than anything else I've done so far. So heist took me 51 grand heist blueprints with all wings revealed and currency chests, took me 15 hours. Blighted maps, 100 of those took me 7 hours. So, was it worth? Let's have a look. Raw currency. So for the raw currency, we have 5,990 total. Now, I just want to get this off my chest, first and foremost. Raw currency, the actual reward currency in Simulacrums is trash. It's absolutely awful. And you might be looking at this and thinking, what you want about? You've got 5,990 cows there. Now, the currency chests in the Simulacrums themselves barely drop any loot at all. This is why you can see I only have 181 chaos, and it doesn't correlate with the rest of the loot. I have 7.1x here. Only one exalted orb dropped through 50 Simulacrums, which, let's face it, this is hard content, guys. This is not easy content. You need a really high-geared character to be able to do these efficiently and safely. So one exalt dropping from 50 of these is honestly pathetic. But we had 6.1 worth of exalted shards, which, it kind of makes up for it. But still, that is less than I had in Blight and Heist so far. So that is garbage. And the Chaos Orbs are pitiful, 181. Now, we have a lot of gem cutters, which drop from the gem chest. We have stack decks, which drop from the card chests. I'm just going to call them chests for the sake of this. And we also have 263 Awakened Sextants, which, thanks to, the Harbinger strat, is now basically saving us by being 4.5C each, which drop from map chests. So these don't even drop from the currency chests themselves. So yeah, you get a lot of currency from the other things, but as far as the currency rewards go, you don't actually want to see it. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, it does add up with the rest of the stuff. 24 ancient orbs as well is quite a lot from the Harbinger chests. So 5,990 chaos there. So it's pretty decent overall, but yeah, that's my rant over for that section. Scarabs. Now, this is the bulk of where your profit will come from Simulacrums. They drop a lot of scarabs. They have the scarab chests. But they also have the specific, leagues for these scarabs to drop as well, like the Metamorph the Harbinger, the Blight, stuff like that. So for the Harbinger, we got 85, and these are very expensive right now. So 1,235C. I'll just actually quickly note down that I am doing this based off of the bulk price and not the single price, because there is no way I am going to sell any of this for like 1-for-1, you know what I mean? No way. So these are the bulk prices. Blight, 90 Blight ones drop in, which is pretty nice, 846C. Breach drops more than others because the Breach rewards are now technically suck, because, you know, they've stopped the Breach stones actually dropping from the Simulacrum themselves. So I feel like to make up for it, they've slightly increased the rate of the Breach Scarabs. But you do get a lot of splinters, in all fairness, and you will see that a bit further on in the video. Yeah, Legion drop from Incubators, Divination drop from cards as well. I will say one thing as well, the fragment chests suck. As soon as you get fragments, it is a non-chest, because it doesn't drop scarabs. It doesn't drop any scarabs. All it drops is sack frags, and it is fucking useless. It doesn't even drop the mortal frags or anything, which, you know, they drop under maps, so there is something seriously wrong with the Simulacrum rewards, which I'll go over a bit later. So essences as well, I'm going to kind of rant here. Now we have 177, and it totals up to 824. And these are all converted to deafening. So 177 is deafening. Guys, the essences only drop as screaming. They don't drop as shrieking or deafening. So I had to convert those up to deafening, right? So I picked up about 900 essences in total. Hey, it fucks your fingers up. Honestly, fuck essences, man. They need to change this back to deafening. I don't understand why they've done that. It's so stupid. Since you can convert them up to deafening, the whole point of changing things to drop only screaming is irrelevant. Yeah, sure, stop the essence of horrors dropping, guys, but whatever, man. Just please let the deafening drop, please. It's so stupid. GGG just love fucking up your hands, don't they, guys? They just love it. So, onwards. Catalyst. Now, a surprising amount of profit from Catalyst, i.e., actually, you know, I don't really pay much attention to Tane. I kind of forget about him, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Ritual. You ever have one of those maps? You just go in and then, you know, you wipe everything, and as he's coming out of his like little portal or something, you're already out the map. So it's like, yeah, that's what happens with my Metamorph experience, because Metamorph kind of sucks in my opinion. But yeah, Fertile, very expensive, also very rare. Not even one per Simulacrum based on this, 46 in total, but these sell for a lot because, you know, they're well sought after and they're very hard to get, as you can see. So 598 cows from that. Prismatic and Tempering are also quite costly, so 560 for Prismatic and 335 for Tempering, which is, you know, it's a decent amount, it adds up. And Turbulent is just over 1C, so 345C for that. The rest are under 1C, so yeah. But you do get a lot of them. Now, you can also, if you take 3 catalysts and sell them to the vendor, you will get 1 random catalyst. So I could just sell all of these to the vendor and hope I get a lot of Fertile, and it'll probably add up to more, but you know, it's a little bit of a gamble. So 2,400, and oh sorry, I need to move my face, don't I? So 2,444.9 over there. So yeah, a lot of profit from Metamorph, which is very nice, to be honest. And then let me just scroll down a little bit more. Fossils, we have 853, which totals up to 2,077.6. As soon as you have bulk fossils, fossils start becoming very expensive. You know, you might see like Jagged, and you might search for Jagged, and maybe they're 1 for 1. But as soon as you have over like 40, you can sell these for 2 to 3 each, because the people that need these will spend a lot to, you know, save the time. Time is money. So yeah, always sell for more if you have bulk. Scorched, again, used on fire damage over time multiplier cluster jewels, so they're quite expensive. Dense and Pristine for obvious reasons. And this is quite nice because these are the bulk of what you're going to get, as you can tell from the results. And then after that, you know, a Baron, Metallic, Frigid, yada yada. Bound Fossil coming in at 88C. It's just a little bit, but it adds up. So we're sitting at 2,077.6 from Fossils. So very cool there. Now, Splinters and Fragments, moving on. I haven't noted down each individual fragment that I got, i.e. like I had like 5 Mortal Ignorances. I'm not noting that down here because my spreadsheet will be way too long. So I've just marked them into their respective things, so Alder, Mortal, Shaper, and Timeless Emblems. Yeah, so as you can see, we got a lot of Splinters, over 600-ish Splinters, which is not worth much, 66C, you know, 11C each. So I'll probably just use these to level up a new character. But this is how much they would be worth if I were to sell them. We had 1 Chiola Breachstone drop, well, 1.5 because we have 51 Splinters over here. And then Outer Fragments, Mortal Fragments, Shaper Fragments. So these drop from the map tab instead of the fragment tab. GGG. You know what I mean? Say no more. Yeah, 220 from Alda, 165 from the Uber at Zero fragments, and the Shaper was 103. So that totals up to 1,196. These are also very easy to sell, so that's quite quick money there. Maps. So until you get to about tier round wave, whatever you want to call it, 15, it's wave 15. The map tier reflects off of the Simulacrum, and the Simulacrum starts at monster level 75. So at monster level 75, you're going to be getting tier 10, 11, 12 maps. So I did get a lot of those, but there's no way I'm going to sell them, so I didn't even bother adding them to the sheet. They were also very bad layouts, i.e. Curse Crypt and Maze. So, you know, if I was to count those up and add them, I'd probably add over 100, so it would come to about 200. But nobody's going to buy Curse Crypt in bulk. You know, what? Like, why? Why would you do that? Are you sick? But yeah. At all, 43 quant. Value 387, Toxic Sewer 22, value 198C. So those two are very easy to sell. Those will sell within 10 minutes, as they always do. And then just a few bits and bobs from tier 14 to tier 16, which I've priced all at 4C each. And then Coward's Trials, which is good for XP, so always worth a little bit. I actually had 5 of those, 2 tier 13 and 3 tier 16. So, Sigil for the gems. We only had really one, well, I guess 2 if you count Exsanguinate. 2 decently dropped gems. You can no longer get Val gems drop as like 21 or anything, or in general, I think. So, I don't know why they've changed that, to be honest. It's garbage. It's really garbage. It's really annoying. Sigil of Power, 21, 23, 50. Discharge, 21, 23, 60. You know, a few little ones like the Fireball and Dominating Blow that are just thrown there for the sake of, you know, they drop like Exalt, so I may as well throw them in there. Enlighten 4 being the bulk of it. Exsanguinate, 1x, and an Enhance. Now, if this was last league, this Enhance would actually be worth a bit more money, but, you know, Enhance is very 50-50 per league. And the total is 1,041 just from gems. And as we encroach into the end here, I've just run a miscellaneous. So, Twice Enchanted, which dropped in the Enchanted rather than the Prophecies. Prophecy chests are dead weight. Just garbage. Like every other thing. Like in the Blight, like in the Heist, and now in the Simulacrum, Prophecies are garbage. If you get those, just count on getting like 20 silver coins and, you know, fucking cry about it like I am. So yeah, Twice Enchanted. So I got 37 of those purely from the Labyrinth chests. Oh, the Labyrinth Wave, whatever you want to call it. Cosper's Malice and a Void Battery from the Uniques. Now the Void Battery was pretty much perfectly rolled, so it is more than the standard price. However, the Cosper is standard price because it is quite meh. So that is 1x. And then just little things, Primordial Might, a Memory Vault, and then a few cards, Abandoned Wealth, Nook's Crown, and the Enthusiast. This one is the eye level 100 Alder Bone Helmet, and this one is the free Exalted Orb card. So those are pretty nice to have. One Ghastly Eye Jewel. Now, there are a lot of Abyss chests in the Simulacrum, and it's quite annoying because, you know, most of the time they don't even drop on your filter because they come in the early waves. But as far as Abyss chests go as well, they are pretty dead. You get a few Scarabs, maybe if you're lucky, which aren't on my filter because they're like half a C or 1C. So, yeah. If you get Abyss chests and Prophecies together, mate, good job. You're going to get absolutely nothing for that round. Prime, Alk, and Chaotic Resonators, which are the 4 psychic ones. I kind of forgot to put them here, so I put them here. And the miscellaneous adds up to 1,070. And then finally, the jewels and the cluster jewels, which is, you know, the delirious specific things. They do add up to quite a bit, to be honest. And it's kind of hard to price some of these, but we got a 1 Voices, which was a 5 passive, which is quite nice. I was kind of hoping for a 3, but, you know, that would be a jackpot. That would be what you would make this like super profit. I think they're going for like about 71 exalts for a 3 and about 285 exalts for a 1 at the moment. So if you were to get one of those, you know, then you're laughing, then you're making a lot of money. And split personalities, these drop quite frequently as well. Most of them are just 20 to 40C. However, there is one which is good, and it is Strength and Life. And I had 2 of these drop, so they look like this one, if I just quickly show you, in case you've never seen one before. But yeah, that's what they look like. So yeah, they're quite good. 1x each for those ones. And then 4 Megalomaniacs. Now, I priced this at 700 Chaos, and it's very hard to price these, that's why I put a little question mark next to it. And they could be more, or they could be less. But, for instance, I have this one here, which is Martial Prowess and Run Through. Now, I had a large cluster jewel on my Flicker Strike build, which uses these 2 modifiers, plus one that was kind of meh. So, honestly, I would probably use that for this build, because I would use that for that build, sorry, because that is quite a good medium cluster jewel. So, if I was to search for that, there might be 1 or 2, or there might just be none. So there's 1, and it's 4.5x 3 days ago. Now, I would expect this to be over 4 exalts, so I think that pricing is fair, because this is quite good. Those 2 modifiers complement each other. As you can see, the Run Through is from Pale, and Martial Prowess is just, you know, a generic attack damage, attack speed, which is really nice to have. So if you were to get 3 modifiers that complement each other, you can actually make a lot of money from these. These are actually, like, pretty good for gambling, I guess. You could do the card gamble, actually, thinking about it, and you might get something decent. So yeah, this one as well. Smite the Weak and Spike Concoction may go well together. You know, there might be something that uses that. For the 0. So what I'm going to do for these is I'm going to just make my tab public, and then wait and see if somebody offers me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this Martial Prowess one is worth over 4x. That's pretty much it for the Megalomaniacs. The other ones that I got were just kind of decent, but nothing too special. And then for the medium cluster jewels, small cluster jewels, stuff like that, I had 1 large minion one, which is about 2x right now. 5 damage over time, 5 passive one, which is just shy of 2x. An I-84 chaos damage 8 passive one, which is about 30c, 30 to 35c. And then yeah, just a few small ones over there. So that's 2,498. Now you're probably looking at this thinking, yo, you've made a lot of money. And, you know, you're probably right. You know, we were pretty much broke even at this point, and then this onwards is just profits. This is gravy town, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if I was to show you the turnover, let's take a little gander. We have 22,267.2 or 148.2x turnover, so that's how much we have, not including the cost. So once we deduct the cost, we are sitting at 11,767.2 profit in Chaos, or 78.22 Exalted Orbs profit. Now, that is very good. It's a decent amount. However, is Simulacrum worth it to run? Now, despite how big those numbers are, I would honestly say that it is actually not worth it to run Simulacrums. Now, that is a good amount, and, you know, I'm happy with that, and I'm glad I got that. And yes, I could have made more if I hit a 3 or a 1, which, let's face it, is not realistic, so there's no point in taking that into account. But I personally feel like this is the worst way out of my current ventures to make profit. And the reason for that is purely because of the time investment. Now, 20 hours, you can average a simulacrum probably 24 minutes to complete one. And it doesn't matter how strong your build is, really, because, you know, the waves have set spawn times or whatever. And I'm pretty sure they're set to last an X amount of time. So regardless of how fast you are, it will pretty much always take this much. And 20 hours is too long, in my opinion. The build-up waves are garbage. There is a lot of bad rewards you can get. So, for instance, you know, there is Talismans, Weapons, Armor, Abyss, Prophecy. And those 5 on their own are oh, there's Parandus as well. Yeah, Parandus is in here for some stupid reason. And all it drops is Parandus coins, so that's garbage. So there are 6 rewards off the top of my head, which are useless. I'm not sure if I included fragments, but fuck them as well. So it could be 7. I'm not sure if I counted it. But, yeah. There's too many bad rewards, and then the build up to actually get to the good point, which would be around, you know, it starts picking up around wave 13. It takes a long time, guys. I don't think personally simulacrums are worth it despite the overwhelming profit. And the reason for that as well is because if you saw my Blight video or my heist video, so the heist video took me 15 hours for 51 blueprints, grand heist fully revealed with currency rooms. That took me 15 hours and I made 72x profit. So deducting 5 hours, like the extra 6x, I would easily take that. And heist is easy, you can do it on a budget. So yeah, heist wins out against simulacrums. And then blighted maps with teal oils, which are very quick. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it in the description. Blighted, blighted maps are fast. They are probably better than Heist in my opinion. Now, it took me 7 hours, but you can do them in 6 if you're very quick and efficient. And I made 40, I think it was 43 exalts from that in 7 hours. So 14 hours, I would have made 86 exalts, you know, just based on the amount of loot I got from that. You know, it could be lower, it could be a bit higher, but that's just the average that I'm going for. So yeah, in my opinion, Simulacrums, no, I don't think they're worth it. I think they need to be a little bit cheaper, maybe 1.1x maybe. Then they might be worth it. Time investment's too long, guys. I wouldn't do them. I personally wouldn't do them. Now, oh yeah, as well as, you know, in this super expensive build, they need to be slightly more rewarding. You know, if that was 100x, I could maybe justify it. But personally, for me, it's a no-go. Yeah, so the next project I'm going to be doing, as you can probably guess by these maps that I've just had to sit in here, I've just been buying them before I started recording this. So I'm going to run 100 of these, 25 of each one, and I'm going to fight 25 Forgottens as well, and document all the loot that I get from that. But buying these is going to take me a while, so this video might be 5 days. Who knows? So if you want to see that, feel free to subscribe, and I'll post it in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you learned a bit here. Yeah, that's it from me, guys. Take care, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Goodbye.